Hello, I am Bernie Hayes. Today's guest is the president of Harris-Stowe State University, Dr. LaTonia Collins-Smith, today on The Bernie Hayes Show. Hello and welcome back. As promised, my guest is Dr. LaTonia Collins-Smith. Dr. Smith, how are you?
I'm well. How are you this morning?
Thank you for taking the time to see us today and visit with us.
Absolutely.
You're a very busy person.
Oh, well, I think it comes with the territory.
You recently received so many awards. I know the award that you received from the St. Louis American in education. Tell us about that.
Yes, and so I was recently awarded the award from St. Louis American, and I stellar performer in education, and I am truly honored because, as I've shared with Dr. Suggs, if you're someone in education, it is validated when you receive the Salute to Excellence in Education Award from the St. Louis American, and so I am truly honored and humbled by that. And the way it was described to me, I was nominated because of the work that I have done these last 2 years here at Harris-Stowe in order to continue the legacy, our rich history, and continue to move the university forward. You've
received so many awards and honors recently, but you are the first African-American female to head Harris-Stowe State University. Tell us about that.
I am truly honored to serve as the first African-American female. And I like to say, Mr. Hayes, that I am the first female president of Harris-Stowe State University that just happens to be an African-American.
That's wonderful.
And so it is truly an honor to serve in this space. It is truly an honor to be the first. And oftentimes I'm asked that question, but I tell individuals that I like to focus on the vision of the university rather than me being a woman president.
Certainly.
And for me, it's an honor because, as you know, I'm a native St. Louisan. I grew up here in St. Louis in the historic Ville neighborhood. And it is an honor for me because it allows Black and brown little girls to see who they could be. And regardless to where you come from, regardless to what your past has been, you can still persevere and move forward. And so I'm truly honored to serve in this role. I'm truly honored to be a beacon of hope and a beacon of light for Black and brown girls who look like me.
Well, you certainly are. I congratulate you on all the many things that you've done. You do so many things, and it seems like you're every place. How do you manage your time?
Well, you know what? I attribute that to I have a outstanding team who actually helps me and push me forward, and really keep me together and keep me on point to tell me where I need to be and when I need to be there. And so I am I'm honored to be able to have individuals, to be surrounded by individuals who are just excited about the work as I am. Mm-hmm. And so really, it's my team who pushes me forward and keeps me moving.
Tell me your vision for Harris-Stowe State University. Any plans? What are your future plans?
So our plans for, my plans for Harris-Stowe is to continue the rich legacy that we have as an HBCU. I always share with individuals that we are the only HBCU in the city of St. Louis, and we're one of two in the state of Missouri. But we have a long history of serving this region and being that space for companies, for school districts to come for when they're looking for minority teachers, when they're looking for minorities to serve in business. This is the place to come. And so we're looking forward to continuing that legacy and continuing that history. What you will see with Harris-Stowe, we have a robust agenda in STEM. We're moving into that space. We started that probably about 7 years ago when we when we received the $5 million grant to push forward the agenda in STEM in the state of Missouri, which was the largest grant in Harris-Stowe's history.
Wow.
And so we began that work about 7 years ago. But last year in August, the governor signed for us to actually be able to amend our statewide mission and to add that we will be focusing on STEM in addition to all the work that we do. And focusing on STEM will be across colleges here at Harris-Stowe. Mm-hmm. So the College of Education, the College of Arts and Sciences, and also the Anheuser-Busch School of Business. So you will see us in that space. We are one of 2 universities in the nation who have an educational partnership agreement with the NGA. And as you know, the NGA is building this $1 billion building and operation in North St. Louis, right across the street from Pruitt-Igoe. And so we're really excited to be at the forefront of that and preparing young people of color and minority students very early in GIS and mapping so that they can see who they can be and actually live and work in their neighborhood in which they were raised. And so we're excited about that.
I can imagine. So, you know, another thing, Dr. Collins-Smith, is that this is a very diverse campus, although they consider this a historically black college and university.
Absolutely.
And also I see you recruit from all over the country. Mm-hmm. In the past week, I met students from Minneapolis, Minnesota, mm-hmm. Chicago, Illinois, mm-hmm. Detroit, Michigan, mm-hmm. Memphis, Tennessee, mm-hmm. one from Florida, one from California. So how do you recruit, or do they just come to you?
No, that's intentional. Mm-hmm. For so long, I one of the things that you have probably heard me quote, and it was on the front page of the St. Louis American, is that Harris-Stowe is a jewel in the St. Louis crown.
Yes.
And it is important for me to make sure that people across the nation know about Harris-Stowe. The good thing about Harris-Stowe, we're in the middle of the nation, and you can easily access St. Louis from anywhere.
At the crossroads.
Yes, and when we talk about recruitment in California, there aren't any HBCUs in California. And so what better place to come than to come to St. Louis? Yeah. And so recruitment is all of our responsibility. If you work at Harris-Stowe, you're recruiting when you're walking around in the mall with your Harris-Stowe State University t-shirt on. That's recruitment. And I actually personally recruit. It's important for me to share that information about Harris-Stowe. So I actually go out. We're preparing right now for me to go out on a presidential Dollars for Scholars tour. And I go to places like Kansas City, Kansas, I go to Memphis, Chicago. I've been as far as the Bahamas recruiting students. Yes. So that's very important because I believe if we're able to get students from other places to come to Harris-Stowe, they too will be our best recruiters.
This is wonderful. And like I said, it's not just the African-American campus, but you're recruiting all different nationalities.
Absolutely. Here at Harris-Stowe, we have students that are represented from over 30 countries here on our campus. Yes. And so it is we pride ourselves on providing a high-quality, affordable, accessible, and diverse education.
There's one young man I saw who was actually from London, England. Mm-hmm. He was African-American. He was African, rather, from London. Uh-huh. And he said he researched Harris-Stowe State University and decided that's where he wanted to come.
Yes.
We're talking to Dr. LaTonia Collins-Smith, the president of Harris-Stowe State University and HBCU, historically black college and university here in St. Louis, Missouri. The only one in St. Louis and only 2 in the state, as you mentioned. And we'll be right back with Dr. LaTonia Collins-Smith after this.
Will you help New Life Evangelistic Center get back into 1411 Locust Street? Your tax-deductible gifts are urgently needed at this particular time, and there's many different ways that we're working to get back in that facility. One of the ways is to continue to inform the community through the Bernie Hayes Show and other programs. And if you haven't supported the Bernie Hayes Show and the work of New Life Evangelistic Center, please do it now. It's urgently needed. Your gifts are deeply appreciated. So many homeless people are waiting to get back into 1411 Locust, and so many others need the direct help that New Life is trying to provide at this time, but it's facing some real financial needs, and that's why your gift is very, very important. And to express our thankfulness for all of you that are sharing your gifts, we want to send you this special Bernie Hayes cup. It's my wife's favorite drinking cup. She loves to drink out of this cup, and this is actually the only coffee cup she wants to use is the Bernie Hayes cup. It's something very special about this cup, and we'll send it to each one of you that share a gift of $25 or more with the New Life Evangelistic Center and ask for your Bernie Hayes cup. It's P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, that's 63166. Your gift will not only help us get back into the 1411 Locust building, but will help our first responders that are on the streets, the first responders that we have out there day after day, night after night. It will help keep our women and children in our safe houses, continue to keep our training programs open, our worldwide mission work, whether it's in India, Haiti, Africa, so many different things the New Life Evangelistic Center is doing. In addition to NLEC TV, tell your family and friends about it. Put it on your phone. Put on your get that phone app on all your friends' phones so that they can all see the Bernie Hayes Show or go to 24.2. It's your prayers and gifts that make all of this possible. I thank God for those of you who continue to pray for the reopening of 1411 Locust and the work of New Life Evangelistic Center. There's so many obstacles we're facing as we try to help the homeless, but we're going to continue to give it to God. We're going to continue to pray. We're going to continue to work, but we need you to partner with us. So again, it's New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, that's 63166. I thank God for each one of you that are praying, caring, and sharing.
John 11, verses 25 and 26.
I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies, and whoever lives and believes in me will never die.
And welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes. My guest is Dr. LaTonia Collins-Smith, the president of Harris-Stowe State University. Dr. Collins-Smith, tell us about the expansion plans. Now, I didn't know you had satellite offices at like the Impact Center. And
so we 2 years ago, we partnered with Beyond Housing and some partners in the 24-1 footprint in order to expand and begin to really, one of the things you'll see, Mr. Hayes, is that Harris-Stowe will be a part of the community.
Yes.
As a part of my vision, it is my vision. I strongly believe that to whom much is given, much is required. And we give a lot to our students. And so it's very important for students to be able to be in the community and be a part of the community in which they live, in which they go to school, in which they work. And we want to expose our students to work and volunteer service in the community. And so we took an opportunity to be able to partner with 24-1 Footprint and open the Community Impact Network Center, which is in Normandy. It's off of Lucas and Hunt. And our goal there is to really provide community service opportunities. We have several organizations that we partner with who have space in that building. We have several programs. As a matter of fact, we've had you out there with with one of your programs, and so it's really it's really an opportunity for us to be able to expand into the community and offer resources and services in that capacity. We're working heavily with Normandy School District. They recently became one of our trio schools with our Student Support Services program. And so we're excited about being able to work with the young people in that community as well. We do GED testing at that site, high-set testing for those individuals who are wanting to actually obtain their GED and be able to move forward and perhaps come to Harris-Stowe for college. So that's kind of some of the work that we're doing in Normandy. We have community fairs there. We've also hosted COVID testing there. So it's basically community resources, community services, health programming, health promotion, those type of things. We also have our PBS reading nook, because we're wanting to be able to help young people with literacy. Reading and literacy is very, very important. And so we're working with young people and families, pre-K up to 3rd grade in the PBS reading nook. Ooh. So there's a lot that we have in that Community Impact Network Center. As far as here on our main campus, it's hustling and bustling. Yes. We have launched several major renovation projects here in our main administration building, the Dr. Henry Givens Jr. Administration Building. As you know, this building is over 100 years old.
Former Vashon High School.
Former Vashon High School. Yeah. And so we are, and most people in the community know that as Harris-Stowe.
Yes.
And there are several people that I've run into, believe it or not, Mr. Hayes, who don't realize that Harris-Stowe is so much more than just the one building that sit on Laclede, that we have expanded. We have 14 buildings, and we're really moving.
So student house, even student housing now.
We have student housing. Wow. We have 2 residence halls where we can house over 400 students here on our campus. Wow. And so we've launched major renovation projects here in our main building, and what we're doing in that space, just kind of doing some overhauls, some branding with our signature brown and golds. We're also working in order to renovate all of our science labs, because we're truly moving in that direction with STEM, as I stated. Yes. Okay. And so in order to really be stellar in that area, we have to make sure that we have the best facilities for our students. The next thing is something that's near and dear to your heart and mine, which is the old historic Vashon Center, which sits on the corner of Olive and not Olive, I'm sorry, on Market and Compton.
Yes.
And it's a historic building. I can remember as a kid being a Girl Scout and participating in a double Dutch competition in that building. And many people, I can remember swimming in that building and also going to basketball games in that building. But we're excited about it, and I'm excited to be partnering with you in order to open up the new Don and Heidi Wolf Jazz Institute and the National Black Radio Hall of Fame.
It's very exciting.
And so it's exciting definitely to be here with you as the icon and leading that initiative.
Thank you so much.
And it's going to be very exciting for our students and rewarding for our students to even be able to be in that space, particularly for our communications majors. Mm-hmm. So we're looking to be able to do some podcasting from that space and really entertain our students and provide a medium for our students to be able to learn more about what's happening here on campus. We're also launching our Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which will sit on the corner of Olive and Compton. Okay. And in that space, we've taken off in entrepreneurship. This year, we launched our MECA Accelerator program for entrepreneurs to really be able to help entrepreneurs elevate their brand and elevate their business. We have a waiting list for the MECA Accelerator program, which was the brainchild of Dr. Stacy Hollins, who is our Dean of the Anheuser-Busch School of Business. Mm-hmm. And so we're on our 3rd cohort. The first cohort was 7 justice-involved individuals, because we're truly serious about changing and being a part of the solution for our community. So wonderful. 7 justice-involved individuals who are now entrepreneurs here in our community. The second group was 25 entrepreneurs, 24 women, and 1 African-American male.
Unbelievable.
And so we're on cohort 3, and we have a waiting list for cohort 4. And so we're looking to open the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship next spring.
This is wonderful. You know, I noticed also that every time you speak and every time you hold a conversation and every time you talk about the satellites that you have, students come first with you. You always say, what
first.
about the students? What about the space for the students? What about this for the students? Why is that so dear to you?
Yeah.
How do you
well,
embrace
students are first. And you know, Mr. Hayes, when I accepted this role, when I transitioned to this space 12 years ago, that's what attracted me to Harris-Stowe.
Okay.
It was the students who were the catalyst for me to do a career change. And so the students, and I share with our team, our faculty and our staff, our hashtag here is Scholars First. Everything that we do is for our scholars.
That's wonderful. This is great. Dr. LaTonia Collins-Smith is our guest, and we're here at Harris-Stowe State University. And she's talking about so many wonderful plans and so many things that she's going to do. And we'll be right back after this.
These are very difficult times, and so many people are giving up. I want you to experience hope in the midst of God's cathedral of creation. And that's why I have a free book that I want to send you. It said hope can begin to flow in your life, and you'll be encouraged to go out in the middle of creation and hear the birds and the trees and all of creation speak hope to you. Now, I'll send this to you absolutely free of charge. All you have to do is just write me, Larry Rice, at P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166. Or you can call 314-421-302 and request your free copy of Experiencing Hope in God's Creation. We need hope right now. And hope is just right there, ready to fill you. You may be in a dark, dirty, lonely place at this moment. I have a whole chapter on that, how seeds are planted there and how they sprout. That and much more. Right here, just write me at P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166, and receive your free copy.
Today's subject is Emmett Till. The brutal 1955 murder of teenager Emmett Till and the news coverage it drew helped ignite the civil rights movement in America in the 1950s. Exactly what Emmett Till, a 14-year-old African-American boy, said or did to offend Carolyn Bryant, a 21-year-old white woman working in a Mississippi grocery store that August day, is still unclear. This prompted Bryant's husband, store owner Roy Bryant, and his half-brother, J.W. Milam, to abduct and kill Emmett Till and throw his body in the river. An open casket funeral and news pictures of Emmett Till's disfigured face caused worldwide news coverage of the case, in which an all-white jury acquitted the killers. After the trial, Roy Bryant and Milam, now immune from further persecution, confessed the killing to the magazine Look. The case was reopened 50 years later, and Emmett Till's body was exhumed by an autopsy. But the FBI announced in 2006 that it would not file federal charges, and a grand jury refused to indict in 2007. Emmett Till.
What does God want you to do as a Christian? He wants you to devote your entire life to loving Him, placing Him first in your life. And from that place of devotion and love, He wants you to love others and to serve them as you love yourself. This means loving the immigrant. This means loving the homeless panhandler. This means loving the criminal. This means loving your neighbor and your enemy equally. So love the Christian who's sitting in the pew next to you, no matter where they're at in life. Love the person in greater need by extending hospitality, grace, kindness, and love. Love with your actions, because that's what God requires of you. If you truly love God, you will love others well, recognizing that He loves you first.
Welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes. My guest is the president of Harris-Stowe State University, Dr. LaTonia Collins-Smith. Now, Dr. Smith, how did you get so interested in education? Why did you choose this field? Why not a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse? And also, before we end up to it, I got to ask about your sorority. I noticed in the Annie Malone parade, you came down, introduced as the president of Harris-Stowe State University. But a few moments later, say half an hour later, I saw you marching with the AKAs.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Mr. Hayes, service is at the core of everything I do, and I think that became evident as I talk about Harris-Stowe and where we're headed and being a part of the community. Community involvement is extremely important. And so, yes, I am a proud 26-year Silver Life member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I'm really proud of the work that we do here in the St. Louis community. And I'm very proud of the work that my sorority sisters have embraced here at Harris-Stowe. One is opening up the Cares Closet that we keep stock for our students, and it goes back to our scholars are first, and just reaching out to them and saying, hey, here's a need. This is what my students need. Can you help? And I'm excited because all 3 chapters here in the St. Louis area came through and launched a Cares Closet for our students that is fully stocked with toiletries, is stocked with non-perishable food items, and even comforter sets for students who may come to college and not have those things. And for me, I like to say that I stumbled into higher ed. Education was always very important in my life. My mom passed away when I was 7, but I had a strong village, and my grandmother was the head of that village, and she strongly believed in education.
But you came out of the Ville, and there's Sumner High School there, there's Annie Malone Children's Home there, there's Norman G. Phillips Hospital there.
Absolutely.
Why didn't you choose to be a nurse?
So my first career, believe it or not, I have been a part of the Annie Malone Children's Home Parade for ever since I was 5 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Because my grandmother used to volunteer, and she would be the person that would be over the lost children, like if children were lost and found. So that was part of her service. So you're exactly right. I grew up around Homer G. Phillips, Sumner High School, and all of that rich history. And ironically, my first career was in social work and public health. Okay. So I'm very familiar with Annie Malone Children's Homes. I did foster care and adoptions at the very beginning of my career. And I did social work and public health in this community for 21 years. I was doing that when I came to Harris-Stowe as an independent contractor. And I came to Harris-Stowe, was supposed to be here 9 months on a public health and social work initiative. It has been 12 years.
Wow.
And it was my students that was the catalyst for me to do a career change.
What would you say to those people looking for a university? What's the attraction of Harris-Stowe State University now?
One of the things about Harris-Stowe, what attracted me, and I share that with individuals, is the fact that Harris-Stowe has a community family feel. At Harris-Stowe, you're not just a number. You have a name, and we pride ourselves on making sure that we develop professional and working relationships with our students so that they can be successful. And everyone here is committed to our students getting to the finish line. And that is what's different and what's unique about Harris-Stowe. And you know, we love on all of our students. We make sure that they are well taken care of both inside and outside of the classroom. Thus, the project for the Cares Closet. That's a part of who we are. That's our fabric. The other thing I'm excited about, we'll be launching at the end of the month our Hornet Boutique.
Wow. Okay.
Which is a boutique for students to make sure that they have professional clothing attire, because we want to make sure that they're prepared for the real world.
How important is homecoming?
Homecoming is extremely important. And so we're looking forward to alums, we're looking forward to friends, individuals from the community coming out and helping us to celebrate our 165th year here at Harris-Stowe State University.
This is beautiful. And this is also part of the Mill Creek rebuilding area, is that correct?
This is a part of the Mill Creek Valley.
Tell us about that, just
And
briefly.
so we are a part of the Brick Line, the Brick Line Greenway, which will actually, depending on the way you look at it, we could say it'll start at the Vashon Center. I like to say it'll start here and then it'll travel downtown.
Okay.
And so there will be some historic monuments placed here in honor of Mill Creek Mill Creek Valley. So that's another part of our renovation that we're hoping to happen within the next 2 years.
I want to say thank you so very, very much, Dr.
Thank you.
LaTonia Collins-Smith. And I want to thank each and every you for visiting with us today and supporting the National Black Radio Hall of Fame, the Jazz Institute, and naturally Harris-Stowe State University. So it's always good. It's a wonderful day to be a Hornet. Thank you, Dr. Smith. Thanks
Thank
again.
you. Thank you,
Thank you
Ms.
for
Hayes.
viewing us and keep supporting New Life Evangelistic Center. I'm Bernie Hayes.